Firstly, I would like to acknowledge that we are on Aboriginal land, the Darkishan tribe to the north and the Garigal tribe to the south. I want to pay my respects to their ancestors and elders past and present. I want also to extend my respects to the ancestors and elders of the people who are gathered here today. We would not be here if it were not for someone preceding us in this ongoing journey of life, and my respect to your elders and ancestors. I consider it a privilege to be asked to speak at the opening of Cathryn's first solo exhibition, first exhibition at the Co-op Art Studios, that is. I wish to take the next 10 minutes or so to explain why I feel this way. As Cathryn was showing me the paintings she prepared for this exhibition, I asked myself 3 questions. In what sense are these paintings Australians? Or perhaps, more precisely, in which way do these paintings contribute to the ever-evolving dialogue of an Australian culture? Second question, does Cathryn have a distinctive style? If so, what are the most visible signs of this style? Third, who is Cathryn McEwen? What business does she have with the Central Coast? When I look around, even with a quick cursory gaze, I see 2 elemental components recurring in all paintings. They are water and body. Now, water and body go very deep in the Australian culture. Not only do they belong because they make immediate sense of its geographical and historical position with respect to Europe, but water and body are part of a powerful, iconic representation of popular Australian culture. I think here of Charles Mears' painting of the 40s titled Australian Beach Pattern, a moment at the beach where young, healthy bodies are baking in the sun, some resting, and some poised for action in a state of alert readiness. I think of Max Duplan's picture of a sensual male torso resting on a beach after a swim, first seen in the 50s and then remade entirely in the 70s. I think of the way we sell Australia today to the world. Long, golden beaches, sunny skies, turquoise waters, and young, healthy bodies, energetic and carefree. I think of the aura bestowed onto our national swimmers. In a nation that prides itself for all its sporting achievements across all categories, our swimmers stand out from all the sports as the ultimate embodiment of a nation's prowess. If a gold medal makes you a hero in the eye of the world, in Australia, a gold medal in swimming competitions makes you a superhero, an ambassador of culture, a living legend to all Australians, not just sport fanatics. I think again of the words chosen by the Scottish poet Peter Dodds McCormick, repeated over and over again in all our functions that require a national anthem. We are young and free in a land girt by sea. So, do these paintings belong to an Australian vision of itself? Or as our new digital generation would say today, do these paintings belong to an Australian selfie? My answer is yes, most definitely. So what about the style? We all have a name, and the majority of us actually share the name with millions of other people identified by the same name. However, what makes us unique is the way we sign it, the trace we leave behind, the way we frame it. So, while the subject matter of these paintings is firmly entrenched in an Australian popular tradition of representing young, healthy bodies, the way these bodies are framed begin to speak more about Cathryn, about her individual take, about her original signature. I find it a bold, courageous act to exclude the eyes from almost every portrait. The eyes, the most telling feature we have, the most revealing feature in terms of moods and feelings, age, gender, even race. The eyes, the window of our soul, the first point of contact and focus of a spectator that looks at us or that looks at a portrait. For Cathryn, they're not important. She seems to say, I will tell you my story through an arm and its elbow. I can tell you my story by focusing only on hands. I can say what I need to say through a chin and a pair of semi-disclosed lips. How can she do that? And what kind of story is she intending to make us listen to? As I observe closer, I notice the quality of the water. There is a level of transparency on the surface that indicates that the water is clean, somewhat pure, crystal blue. The light is certainly coming from a clear blue sky, a sunny day without wind, perhaps a calm, tranquil day. And yet, the same water goes deep enough to conceal the rest of the body. The parts of the body that are submerged dissolve in the water. It is a water that takes back, that envelops. It is a water that reclaims the body. At this point, Cathryn has my undivided attention. The story that drew me in looked first as peaceful and innocent. It had the scent of sandal ointment and holidays. But as soon as I give it more time, it turns into a thriller, making me feel more and more like a detective looking for clues and signs. Are these bodies emerging from the water, or are they actually drowning? Is this a river? Is this a lagoon? Is it a bay? Is it a rock pool or a private swimming pool? Are these young and healthy bodies actually free, like the images of Mann and Mann, or are they stuck in the waters they did not choose? Or maybe they chose to enter, but now they cannot leave. If this is paradise, why is it in pieces? I look further for clues and I find them in the titles. The title, the written word, is another important element of Cathryn's style. It further frames the body. The title is perhaps giving back what the absence of the eyes took away. It is a moment of poetry, a glimpse of introspection. As I finally join the words with their highly edited body parts and their movement in the water, the story begins to unfold. Perfectly still frames have captured the fleeting, transient moment of a distinct feeling. In fact, a sequence of distinct feelings that ebb and flow inside us alive, real, untamed, in one of those tranquil days, one of those ordinary Australian sunny days, one of those days we call days like these. In closing, a word about Cathryn, the cultural practitioner. Who is this transparent, honest, courageous artist who wants to tell us a story? Who is this social entrepreneur that forms with leisure a cooperative for artists on the Central Coast in a time when there are no other existing cooperative for artists on the Central Coast in Gosford? Who is this thinker that gathers the members, opens the studios, oversees 11 exhibitions of the members before having one solo exhibition for herself? Who is this cultural networker who understands the importance of connecting the art with the non-art, the culture with politics, the intellectual issues with social causes, the aesthetics of an abstract thought with the here and now of a community need? Cathryn is one of those gifts that arrive sometime in a community. One of those precious people who strive to find a place, build it up, make it safe, make it valuable, so that others can feel important. And as they find the space to express their importance, they begin to contribute to our own public community, to our own cultural life. Caterina, hai attraversato il fiume. Dear Cathryn, you have traversed the river. You are on the other side. For all these reasons, as a humble public servant of this town, I feel privileged to declare Cathryn's exhibition officially open.